All right, guys, welcome to week 5. This week we're going to talk about stretching and flexibility. So first question is, what is stretching? Stretching is a form of flexibility, and it's one of the 3 major components of fitness, along with aerobic training and strength training. And most people think that maybe only athletes need to stretch, but that's not true. Even if you're somebody who just does casual workouts, stretching is a huge and important component to those workouts because it helps prevent injury and improve your motion and flexibility.
So what does stretching actually do for our muscles? By stretching a muscle, you help to elongate the muscle and maintain the length of that over time. So when we're sitting or in a certain position for too long, our muscles adapt to that position and they can shorten. When they shorten, they might become stiffer, and this leads to injury when you move and your muscle is stiff and it can't accept that motion. By stretching, we help to keep the muscles longer and more elastic so that they can accept different motions and be ready to move when we call upon them. So by stretching, you allow yourself to move better and actually take pressure off certain joints because your muscles can accept the load. So stretching helps to reduce injury and improve our movement patterns.
So our third question was, are there different types of stretching? So yeah, there are 2 main types of stretching that we typically focus on. There's static stretching and dynamic stretching. So static stretching is when we're trying to put a specific muscle or a specific muscle group like our quads on stretch, and we're trying to elongate those muscles to try to get them some more length. And this is a stretch that you're just going to hold for about 30 seconds or longer. And this one's good for when you're just feeling a little bit stiff. And then the other type is dynamic stretching. This is better for when you're about to do an exercise or workout or any dynamic movements. And this one, you're going to be moving while putting a specific muscle group on stretch.
All right, guys, so the next question is, when should I stretch? The best time to do a static stretch, like Celeste was just talking about, is after a workout or a walk when your muscles are warm. So you could also do it after a shower or putting a hot pack on that specific muscle group. And the best way to do that is to hold it for at least 30 seconds, like Celeste said, and doing it at least 3 times on each side, 2 to 4 times a week to see results. And then the best time to do the dynamic stretches is before a workout to try and prevent injury while you're working out.
So another common question is, what should I feel when I'm stretching? So when you're holding a static stretch, you're going to feel some slight tension in the muscles, and that's totally normal. It might even feel like slight discomfort because we're trying to elongate that muscle. So we need to bring it to the point where it feels tight. But it shouldn't feel like pain or anything shooting like that. If you feel pain when you're stretching, you should stop the stretch and consult an exercise specialist or a physical therapist, because there's likely an adjustment that you can make or a different stretch you can do to target the same muscle. We never want to cause increased injury when we're stretching. We're just trying to improve our movement patterns.
All right, so the first stretch that we're going to go over is a seated hamstring stretch. Your hamstrings are the muscles on the back of your thigh. So what I'm going to have Haley do is bring one foot out in front with her legs straight. Perfect, Haley. And then she's going to reach her hands forward towards that toe until she feels a slight stretch in the back of her thigh. She's going to hold this for 20 to 30 seconds and then come back up. And then she'll switch sides. So she'll straighten out that other leg, bend forward, and reach for her toes until she can feel that stretch in the back of her thigh. Nice job, Haley. Okay, so the next stretch that Haley's going to do is a glute stretch. So you're going to sit in a chair just like Haley is, and she's just going to bring one of her ankles over to her opposite knee into a figure 4 position. Great. And so that way she's getting that stretch on her glute. She can lean forward and push down on her knee to get an extra stretch. Same as the last one, just go to where you start to feel that tension. And then she'll perform it on the other side, bringing that opposite ankle to opposite knee and leaning forward till she feels the tension. If this positioning is too hard or feels too tight, you can also try this modification where you straighten out that leg and then bring the other leg over and lean forward just like before.
Another good stretch to do is a calf stretch. So here we have Lily standing in front of the wall. She's going to put her hands on the wall to support herself for balance, and she's going to reach back with one foot so that she's in kind of a lunge position. Here, she'll bend her front knee and lean into the wall until she feels a stretch in the back of her right leg. This is stretching that calf muscle that's right above your ankle and below your knee. And she'll switch and try the other one. So she'll step forward with her right leg, bend her right knee while keeping her left leg totally straight in the back, and feel a stretch. To make this stretch more difficult, you can go farther from the wall, or to make it a little bit easier, you can stay closer into the wall.
So the first dynamic exercise we're going to do, I should probably call it a stretch.
Dynamic stretch.
Yep. So the first dynamic stretch we're going to do is going to be a little mini wall squat. So you're going to have the wall in front of you. You can place your hands on the wall, feet just about shoulder width apart, and then you're going to go down as far as you're comfortable, and then right back up. And you'll do about 10 reps of these just to get those glutes and hamstrings firing and all warmed up. Cute over there. So the next dynamic exercise that we're going to do is going to be a stretch for our adductors, or some people might refer to it as their groin. So you're going to start with your feet just a little bit outside of shoulder width, hands on your hips, and you're just going to lean to one side just until you feel a nice stretch on the inside of your thigh. And then you'll stretch to the other side, and then you can make this a walking stretch, do a little pivot turn, and do the same thing. And stretch to both sides.